of applause for Fred Goss.
My grandmother Helen played the saw. If you've ever seen anyone play the saw, I'm sure you'd agree that it's visually difficult to take seriously. My grandmother was a block of a woman. She looked like a Larson cartoon. Like any way he would draw his waitresses, or just like square. And she was an incredible alcoholic, which is fun. And the whole family was, actually. She was normally quite mean, but at family functions, if she had knocked a few back, she could be convinced to play the saw. So, and that would consist of her, someone getting a fold-out chair for her, and she would sit down. She only wore a flowered house coat that zipped all the way down at all times. Didn't matter if it was a big family function. And when she assumed the position, she revealed to us all that she was wearing knee-high support hose. Which I can tell you that even though I was a small kid, if support was what she expected for $1.99, she was robbed, because those hose weren't supporting anything as far as I could tell. It's hideous. To play the saw, you simply squeeze your knees together, bending the saw to different degrees as you run a violin fiddle along the edge. And it sounded like something out of a Coen Brothers movie. It was a weird, in some ways beautiful, yet at the same time annoying. You know what I mean? Like it was bitching in a way but then you wanted her to stop quickly. It became really rapidly annoying. But she was, regardless, I've never heard anyone play the saw better than Helen. I mean, this was her talent, right? This is what she did. I mean, I can't remember any other party where she actually did anything but this. And she could be talked into this. Now, sometimes my Uncle Kelly would accompany her on the spoons. Kelly played the spoons like no one I've ever, and he had to get a little tanked up too, which is not a problem for anyone in my family. This is when it got a little too hard to take seriously, because Kelly would really play those spoons. You know what I mean? Anytime I've ever seen anyone play the spoons, which actually is not many times, hee-haw would be where to. And we did catch some hee-haw, and that's usually where you saw it. But the instrument seems to demand that you incorporate faces. Your face gets involved somehow. Like there's something about a like your face drives the rhythm of the. And so she's playing the saw and rolling right into the new year, and he's like this, and it's. But at that age, I was amazed, and that was Kelly's talent, right? So and I just always remember him coming out of the kitchen. He'd have a couple of teaspoons, but he'd have a couple of the big ones for bass, My uncle was a very talented spoon player. I mean, that's what he did. That is it. He had a talent on the spoons. I remember the age of 7 or 8 really wishing that I had a talent. Because the whole family, the extended family, whenever they would gather for large picnics or camping trips or, someone's house for the 4th of July, whatever, everybody pulled out their talent. At a certain point, everybody got up. Remember my cousin Lori could sing like a bird, they all said, right? She was a year younger than me, and she would get up and she would sing something that would please my grandma, something from the 40s. I don't know, but she could sing like a bird, and she was beautiful. And I tried to sing for the crowd once, thinking I would mimic what she did. And it's not as if it felt like losing on the Gong Show. Actually, that's exactly how it felt. I would imagine that's exactly how it felt, because I don't remember anyone pretending that I wasn't horrible. I mean, for the sake of protecting the feelings of a young boy. It was a rough crowd, drunk and angry, and it made me decide that I was without talent. I took a couple cracks at it. Ventriloquism was a fiasco. I never bothered with the whole not moving your lips thing. So when I had the doll, sitting on my lap, and I said to my dad, "Hey, Tiny, how much do you weigh? I'll bet you when you sit on the toilet seat, it says, 'Get off me!'" I was actually saying that to my stepfather. He just took it as that. It literally just looked like me and the dummy were both telling him that he was fat at the exact same time. I tried magic briefly. I discovered that the secret to magic is that nothing is really magic. And that depressed the shit out of me. I chose not to be a party to such a horrible charade. I'm not doing magic. So ultimately I gave up. I had no talent. I had to accept it. I wish that were my understanding of talent. I wish that my understanding of talent had lived and died with that, but it's not. When a few years goes by here and I switched states and families, and I was in my freshman year of high school in Redondo Beach. I wanted to be on the football team, and I was about 5'10", weighed approximately 125 pounds. After tryouts and hanging there for a few months, my coach said, "Fred, you're fast, and you got good hands, good catch, you're fast, you're good catch, but I'm never going to play you, ever." Why? He said, "Well, because the first time you catch a ball and you get tackled, you'll die." And I couldn't have that hanging over my head, son. He told me that I could essentially become the team mascot of sorts. My pride wouldn't allow it. I suddenly found myself with an open sixth period. I had two options, according to my counselor: Spanish 2 or advanced acting. Well, Spanish 2 was out. Since I barely made it through Spanish 1 without literally dying of boredom. ¿Cómo se llamas? Me llamo Federico, ¿y tú? Por favor, métame ahora. Please kill me for those of you. So I went to advanced acting and I sat in on a class. Let me tell you, nobody in that class could honestly be dubbed advanced. I'm like, what? In fact, many of these kids just downright sucked. I lied my way in. Told the teacher, a remarkable short and bored man of about 40 named Osberg, that I had some acting experience back in middle school. He didn't care. He had room in his class, and and if he didn't keep enough students, he'd be pulling another driver training class, and that's the last thing he wanted. It didn't take very long for me to prove myself as an actor, and then a director and a writer. By the time I left high school, I'd lined the trophy case in the main auditorium with awards from acting and writing competitions all over Southern California. I was finally told by a lot of adults that I trusted how much talent I had, and it would be crazy for me not to pursue it, right? And so I believed them. They're like, how can you not try to break into showbiz? Right? Which is a term I love. Showbiz. Be a trooper. Debbie Reynolds is right beside me. So I was finally told by a lot of adults that I trusted to do this. And to make a long story, only 1,300 words, I did exactly that. My entire life has been focused on the pursuit of success in the business that pays me for my talent, right? I don't bowl or play tennis. I don't really hang out with the guys. All I fucking do is pursue this business with my talent. And it's I guess I'm at that point in my life where you do start to kind of take in, like, well, what have I done? What the fuck have I done? What have I done? I seldom recreate. I mean, my disease, whatever it is, I have a combination of ADD and a mental imbalance that doesn't have letters or an acronym, but it keeps me generally frustrated at all times with where I'm at in life, right? I'm sure a lot of us share, but it's there's a mixture of things here that are at play. I think there's no real cure for it. I'm here, but I really want to be over there, right? That's. I think we all kind of share that, right? I have achieved a modicum of success in my time. It came later and was very hard earned. It led me to into more opportunities in showbiz, but overall, I'd have to say, with regards to the concept of talent, fuck that shit. It's a carrot I've chased and then finally caught, only to realize that it was never actually a carrot at all. It was a turd painted orange. It was like really satisfying. These days, my talent seems to be the ability to sit with 8 people behind me who have actual power on the set and tell me what to do, all at the same time, while the celebrity talent waits for me to come on the set so that they can tell me they're not going to do any of it. Trooper. I just wonder if I'd never been labeled with talent, what my life would be. Would I just get off work and hang with friends? Would my relationships be deeper if we all just shared a hatred for working on the line or that prick supervisor with the clip-on tie and the comb-over? I'll never know. I've committed my life to this. It's too late to go back, and I can't think of anything else I can do. I have no other talents. I wish that my talent accounted for more with regards to the biz, but I mean, if I excel at delivering the goods at 100% of my ability, it still only accounts for 20 to 25% of the outcome or the success of the project. Because that's the biz, right? The other 75 to 80% is political, relationship-driven crap that has nothing to do with my project or my talent. But if I didn't pull that 20%, I wouldn't even be here in the first place. So the talent is required ultimately. It's just overshadowed, but ultimately not undervalued by the powers that be. My biggest regret is that I wasn't a better ventriloquist. Those guys get all the pussy.